you're funnier than this next guy, then sign up next month or shut the fuck up. Woo! Alright, so the next guy that's coming up here is my good friend Lucas Young. And if you thought I had issues with my parents, you should meet this guy.
Check out that red shirt!
I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 50%. That woman right there is my mom. And anybody that knows the song, if you thought I was about to call my mom a bitch, you must not have met her. Because she is small, but she is ferocious like a little Wolverine. She took me into this world and she could bring me out. That's not how murder works. That's just not how it goes. Pretty brutal way to talk about it, though. They've been telling that to little kids forever. I'm gonna bring you out of this world. And in the case of Selma versus the baby that was crying a little too much, she's innocent on all counts of bringing him out of this world. On account of bringing him into it. Open and shut case. Everybody enjoy your lunch. Anyway, I was, it's my mom's birthday today as well, and for her birthday, she decided to come here and watch me tell dick jokes, which is really weird. And she told me, she said, you can make jokes about me, and I was thinking, you're not funny. But what came to mind was I can talk about the most awkward thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. And that was 15 years, 3 months, and a handful of days ago. My sweet mom walked in on me having sex for the 4th time it ever happened. She comes walking down the stairs, and Nerves of Steel over there just goes and sits down on the couch next to us. Me and my first girlfriend under a blanket that barely fits, shaking like a couple of refugees. And Mom picks up a condom wrapper off the ground and goes, "What is this? What is this?" And I'm thinking, fuck, Mom doesn't know what a condom is? How do I not have more brothers? But so ensued the sex talk. And you gotta keep in mind, this is the single biggest U-turn of events that has ever happened in my life. Narrowly beating out when I was 8 years old, and we went from, hey, we're getting ice cream, to, we don't live with Dad anymore. And at least that time she had the decency to give me ice cream. Granted, in this moment it would have been a little weird if she was like, for the next 10 minutes I'm going to be doing all the talking, it's going to be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you, here's some Rocky Road and a waffle cone. And, she was a single mother, and so I was always jealous of my friends. The talks that they would get were always from some dumb dad that were just like, hey, your mom told me I had to tell you this, sex is like baseball with 4 bases. You got kissing, you got hand stuff, you got blowjobs, and a big spin. You're probably going to get thrown out on your way to second a bunch. Never steal home plate. But, I had a single mother, Nerves of Steel, like I mentioned earlier, and she was a nurse, so I got the unabridged version. We were like 9 minutes in, right around the word clitoris. I was like, don't you have a dumbed down system that equates it to a stupid thing that it's nothing like? And she was like, oh, yeah, it's kind of like baking. You gotta preheat the oven, grease the pan, wait for the dough to rise, make sure you pull it out in time. Yeah, I can do that. Which one of those is blowjobs? Like, look at this. I have to tell you everything. I owe it all to my mom. She taught me how to be a gentleman. She, some classic life lessons like, if a woman is carrying something very heavy, you can ask her, can I help you carry that? Unless it's a baby. Then you just have to let her struggle with that big fat baby. This isn't part of the act. I really forgot this next one. Give me 1 second. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If that nice thing that you have to say is going to get yelled out a car window at a stranger, don't say that shit either. Mom never really sugarcoated anything. She always told it to me straight. When I was a kid, everybody used to always say, curiosity killed the cat. And one time our cat died, and I said, was it curiosity? And she goes, no, coyotes, a lot of them. Anyway, so just turned 31. I'm not a millennial anymore. I don't know what I am, but that's too old to be a millennial. I just crossed a critical threshold the other day that I didn't know existed. I turned 21 from the back. We were at a bar, my girlfriend and I, and she was ordering a beer. And I had sat down back to the bartender, and I hear, who's the other one for? And I didn't get a quarter turn, and I hear, he's good. I didn't hear the rest of it, but I'm assuming it was something like that as the back of a man that's been under a lot of gravity. You see the way he has a 5 o'clock shadow on the back of his neck, it's not a young man's game. So at 31, half of my friends are either cops and lawyers, or, they've just been partying for too long. And, so it's fun. Yeah, hell yeah, Wade Caswell, everybody. Enough about you. So I'm happy that some of my friends are getting their lives together, but you've got to let people know. The other day, Wade told me that he had been riding his bike a bunch and going to meetings, and I was like, oh, fuck. Wade got busted. No, apparently he's just doing all right. I'm not... You back up? Yeah. I'm not one to talk. I mean, my current credit situation is gluing 2 credit cards together so it makes a noise when I throw it down on the bar. One of those granite slabs some of y'all ballers have. Real jobs. Apparently when your credit score is below 500, they just mail you the card with a crack in it and the swipe doesn't work. So you got to, the swipe thing doesn't work, you might have to punch it in. And then one of my favorite communications is when my card doesn't go through, I get to act like I've been traveling. I called them when I was leaving Milan on my way to Paris, told them I'd be in Monterey a day early. I guess this tall can and a scratch-off lottery ticket's going to have to wait. So I mean, I'd love to travel. I really would. I just had some friends that went to Vietnam a couple weeks ago. There he is. Look how tan he is. And I mean, it's just I was kind of relishing in the fact that a place can be a total war zone, and then just decades later, we're going there on vacation. It really gave me hope that I can finally do that Detroit trip I've been planning. Oh, Detroit 2025 is going to be great. I'm going to take a little tuk-tuk ride down 8 Mile, get some of that classic Detroitian street food like Mom's spaghetti, and maybe take a little gondola ride down the Flint River and see the Elon Musk statue at the Tesla water treatment plant. It's going to be glorious. These are all jokes, guys. I have to say that because people take everything that they hear so seriously these days. They'll just believe anything without facts or data. Like I had a guy the other day telling me how healthy it was to be vegan, and he had to stop halfway through to catch his breath. Like, bro, I think you need some iron. So, my favorite of all the things is like ghost stories. People just will tell you that they've seen ghosts. Has anybody in here ever seen a ghost? Woo! Yeah. We were talking before the show. We thought maybe you had. Yeah. It's always like that's the thing about ghosts is that they never haunt people. Like normal looking folk. It's always like someone with a dreadlock bun. If I went to go talk to my lawyer and he was like, oh man, it's crazy, I saw a ghost today. Whoa, wait, what, really? No, it's always someone on the street. And they've gone mainstream. For the last 20 years, my favorite episode of Maury is always when they have Sylvia Brown doing ghost story readings from the audience, telling people in the audience, your father forgives you, he's up here, he's in peace, yes, daddy says he's doing all right up there. I would believe in ghosts if they would say some shit that I believe the old people were actually saying. You ever talk to an old person on their way out? They lose the filters long before they kick the can. It's like, if she was up there saying, your grandma says it's looked like you put on a couple pounds and maybe turn that fucking music down. Like, that's Cam, all right. You know, what I don't get is why Maury believes in ghosts 2 days a year, and then the rest of the year he relies on science and technology to ruin poor people's days. Like, what I want is for Sylvia Brown to be up there just wrecking people's lives with names that are too long, silent letters in there, because the only thing free at the hospital is extra letters on a birth certificate, so they're using them up. And it's always like, Jamie Lynn with a silent H, 2 Y's, an N and an M. You said that you didn't cheat on Bobby, and this crazy-haired psychic said that is a lie. Oh! And in the paternity test, the tarot card reading came up single mother. You see, it's right here, 2 jobs and a microwavable lasagna. He is not the devil. All right, guys, that's my time.